If you've been tested for COVID-19, you know that nasal swab can be very uncomfortable. Researchers at the University of Utah say saliva tests are just as effective and a lot more comfortable.
Christina Flores is live for us at ARUP Labs, where they did the research comparing those nasal tests where it feels like they're scratching your brain versus the new saliva tests.
So here's what the researchers at ARUP did. They approached about 360 patients who showed up at drive-through testing sites like this one and asked them to give two samples. One was a nasal swab, the other was a saliva sample. They tested those and found that the saliva samples, or the saliva tests, were just as effective at testing for COVID-19. To do the COVID-19 saliva test, researchers say it takes 3 items: a bag, a collection tube, and a funnel.
The patient will take the funnel and introduce it into the tube, which fits perfectly, and then spit into this funnel until that fill line is reached.
Dr. Julio Delgado spearheaded the research that compared the effectiveness of saliva and deep nasal swab tests. ARUP Labs, which conducted the research with the University of Utah, says the saliva tests will not only be easier for patients, they are safer for medical staff who have to wear heavy protective equipment when they give the nasal tests.
It's easier to collect, and it's probably safer for the healthcare providers as well, because spitting saliva into a tube is less likely to generate infectious aerosols.
Dr. Kimberly Hansen says only 14 of the 368 patients who volunteered for the research were not able to produce enough saliva for the test. For those patients, the deep nasal swab remains the best option. For now, the FDA still requires the saliva test be done in the presence of a healthcare worker. So you cannot take the saliva test at home.
Right now, we would prefer that this still be performed at a testing site.
So doctors at the University of Utah say in about 2 to 3 weeks they will start using those saliva tests at drive-through testing sites like this one, and their goal will still be to get the results to patients in 24 to 48 hours. For patients who have real severe symptoms, they still hope to get the results out in 8 to 10 hours. So a lot easier when it comes to taking that COVID-19 test. Back to you.
All right, we'll chalk that one up as a win. Christina, thank you. Free coronavirus testing is available in Orem tomorrow. It'll be the old school testing. It's taking place at St. Francis Assisi Catholic Church at 265 West, 500 North. Patients will stay inside their cars for this testing, which goes from 5 until 8 p.m.